Hello.
Hello. Get me notes up.
Got mine in front of me.
Like this is. I started taking notes. I was very diligent for the first story, second story, third, and fourth.
At some point, I need to actually finish copying my notes into the notebook I have for my notes, because I need to. I think I got up to. I need to write my notes for Lady Midnight into there onwards.
Just copy it, just like print it and then glue it in.
No, they have to be handwritten because the others are handwritten.
Like aesthetically, that would be a nightmare.
Clean.
Okay. I was thinking working.
Yeah. There was. Can we appreciate there's still blue, but there's less blue.
Well done.
This is like the only one that's really made me cry, apart from Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy.
Oh my god. I didn't tab, but also didn't cry.
I am shocked that you didn't cry. I really am. Like,
there were sad bits. There were sad bits where I was like, "Oh,
there's one
that's
thing
horrible.
in particular in the first one that I thought you would cry at, like the first short story, the Matthew one.
No,
but you didn't cry.
It was just very sad. It was just a very sad bit.
As per usual, I've not read the book, just being a supportive friend.
We love you, Chloe. You are a supportive friend.
Hello. So there's not many people here at the moment. I don't know if there's going to be more people joining, because I once again forgot to post about it until this morning. So if you are someone that watches this back because you missed it because you didn't realise it was on, I'm sorry. But I know there are a couple of people that watch them back if they miss them. So
I still need to watch back the Queen of Iron Darkness live show.
That was an interesting live show. There was lots to talk about though. So
once I finished the book, I was like, I'm so sad I wasn't on this live show. Like I had so many thoughts. And I was so right about so many of my theories.
Like you were fully messaging me with Queen of Red Darkness, and I was like, oh, I can't say anything.
I was like, I know that you can't say anything, and I know that you're gleefully enjoying my like suffering right now.
The tears came flooding during the land I lost. Oh yeah, but that also did make me laugh at bits as well. But yeah. So what did everyone rate it?
5.
Back to a 5 for the Cassie books after my 3.5. Whatever you've done.
Oh, I'm shocked that I gave it
that
a 5.
That was the first one I gave 5 since like joining you guys.
Oh.
Queen of Iron Darkness and this for like 5.
I love this so much. Hello, lovelies. I'm here for only the first 30 minutes because Eurovision, that is very fair. I'm very much one of the people that I do not watch anything. I don't listen to any of the songs. I like to go into the final with like no like idea what anyone sounds like. But my Finnish friend has told me the Finland song is great. And she's not being biased because she would tell me if it was bad. She has done that. She's like, Finland aren't going to go through in the past. But yeah. I'm very excited for the final on Saturday. Gave this book 4 stars. Nice. I will say, before we start going into the individual stories, I think this one is so much better than Bane Chronicles. Because it doesn't follow the story like Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy does, but it still follows a chronological story that actually has an overarching plot and makes sense.
And each story is like important to like a moment, like rather than just like I felt like writing about this.
And it's nice that we see the different generations as well.
I love that bit.
And like for people who haven't read the Last Hours trilogy yet, you get to meet a couple of the characters in these. So you get to meet Matthew and James and Anna.
Oh my god! Like,
huh?
We met James in the Main Chronicles.
Oh yeah, true.
And in Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, sort of.
Oh yeah, that's true. But you get to meet Matthew and Anna, and they're like the top tier characters.
In this, I didn't realise that these were a thing.
Did you not?
No. So when I opened the book and I was like, holy fucking shitballs, what the hell is that artwork? I was just like, oh my god.
I love
Anna. Anna is just...
You're going to love the artwork in the Last Hours books.
I've got the hardcovers with the end pages that are thingy.
No, but there's actually artwork throughout.
Oh!
Whatever, you don't flick through and look, because they are spoilery.
Right.
But when you get to reading those, you can look at them as you go.
Fair.
I love some of the stories, and some were just so. Yeah, there was some that I preferred more than others, but I overall loved all of them in this one. Whereas Bane Chronicles, there were a few that I was like, what was the point in this?
I might ride or die for like Gem. So like, what was not to love?
Yeah.
I bet during the Queen of Rain Darkness live you were struggling knowing what was coming in Ghost of the Shadow Market. Yeah, there was a couple of things, and there was like actually one thing in particular which, to be honest, I can actually mention, because obviously if you're here on this live show, you have read this and you've read Queen of Rain Darkness, I should hope. So I'm just gonna say it. Tessa having the baby. Like when it gets like kind of mentioned in Queen of Rain Darkness, I was just sat there, like, I was like, don't mention it on the live show because you're going to give something away. You're going to make a face that's going to be all cute. And that
was adorable. When Jem was like, I don't want to put you through that again. And it was so considerate. And then she's like, I'm pregnant. And he's like,
4.5 stars. I am very excited. Matthew, I was so mad when it was revealed who the fairy was that gave him the potion. I'm still not okay.
No, I was furious.
It's the fact that that's the first story in this book as well.
Yeah,
that I really want to chuck the heartbreak at me straight away with Charlotte of all people.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was surprised when I was reading it that it didn't make me cry. But I did feel like sad, and I did get a lump in my throat, and I did almost tear up, but I wasn't, for some reason, I don't know why, it just didn't get me the way that some of the other books have got me.
This story didn't make me cry. I'd already read it because I read Chain of Gold and then was told that I should have read these first, and you absolutely should. I can confirm. It makes so much more sense. But yeah, like I didn't cry the first time I read it because I already sort of knew.
Yeah.
But I was like sad for him because he was so cheerful and happy and loving.
I know. That was the thing.
So sad.
I can't remember where it says it.
Would call him a sad boy.
Yeah, sad boy.
I
can't remember where it says it, what page. You might have a note on it, Becca, but where it says that basically it's the last time he was happy.
Oh,
and I was like, oh shit.
I'm pretty sure that might have been one of the first. Oh no, the first thing I cried at was him crawling on it, like Henry crawling on his elbows toward Charlotte. Like, I'm not okay with that. And then it was we were in anticipation of a happy event. And then the next page I cried again. And then the next page I cried again. And it was just I cried a lot in this one.
But that got me where, like, obviously you start off with Matthew being all cheery and just happy and just like really like this ball of energy that's just super, obviously very naive and very like clearly easily influenced, but he just loves life and he's just super happy. And then this darkness just comes over him, and then once it hits him, it literally just smashes everything to crap, doesn't it? Like, it doesn't just like, oh, there's a little thing gone wrong. It went very wrong very quickly.
But before we had that heartbreak, Cassie gave us a bit of happiness because Oscar Wilde the puppy is adorable. And also, Ragnar left London because of Matthew and Christopher. blowing
was
up
it.
the academy.
That was it. That made me laugh.
Like, the fact that Ragnar will still help the kids, like, even like in the notebooks, and it's just like he's had enough of these kids yet. He'll still come back for more.
He's like, you're the one.
Doing
You're the one.
this? Is the other one here?
That big comment.
I love Ragnar so much.
He's like, nope,
Oh.
nope. You know that around?
There were so many good quotes. I did tear up in multiple parts. I had no idea about the pictures. Anna is handsome. Yes. Oh,
Yes.
just so. Let's just move on to the next story because Anna, every exquisite thing.
Anna and Cecily's relationship at the end of this story was like everything to me. I was like, yeah, Cecily's cool. She's a cool mom. Like you tried to have me doubt it at the beginning, but I read the messages. She's cool.
Yeah, I love the fact that like that Anna was like felt like she had to keep it to herself. But I was just saying that there's rep in this before it was. I don't want to say popular to have rep in books, but you know what I mean. Like before it was more
back
common.
when people didn't really put rep in for fear of like them getting cancelled or whatever.
Yeah, like I mean, you're finding more and more that like as you read it, like from quite early on in the book, well, from very early on in the books, there's representation which I loved, and yeah, Anna just as a person, she's just a little fireball of like fearlessness, isn't she? She's just.
What gets me about these short stories is like, why are they both so sad? Like. Matthew goes through the worst time ever. Anna has her heart broken. I'm like, what are you doing to my last hours, children? Like, leave me.
Really want to like just start off our journey with them if you're reading them in the right order. That is, start off with the journey with just all the pain.
Yeah, like, James had a terrible time in Magnus's book. Like the only people we don't really hear from are like Kate, Thomas, and Cordelia. And like Lucy, I guess, but like they don't have a good time, like in general. Like it's the stories we get of like other people, like Alec's story. Like he's having like not a nice time, like he's having like issues with like the fight and stuff, but like he's happy. He's adopting children, like he's having a good time.
I just.
Like everyone in the last one is just miserable. I'm like, well, don't do this to me. I would like a happy story with them now, please.
I did not understand the hair thing. Doesn't Gideon have brown hair? Matthew's blonde and Red making blonde makes more sense. Alistair was just being a
I don't think they really understood Punnett squares back in the day. Like I really feel like this was just someone being mean and someone falling.
Yeah, I feel like Alistair was just trying to be mean for being mean's sake, and
Matthew was just his gullible little self. I mean, like that was a weird thing, because as soon as that was mentioned, I was like, no, the Charlotte that we know from the books that we've read would not do that. Like we know how much she absolutely adores the bones of Henry. Like she wouldn't.
Them all being in each other's lives isn't unusual because.
Exactly.
Have you read the Infernal Devices trilogy?
So, like, the fact that he just automatically went to, like, the negative and then went to quite an extreme to get that potion. And obviously when he found out what he actually did to Charlotte, that it was all his fault. Like, that, I thought that it was going to be that he thought it was him that did it, but then it was something else that did it. When it was like, oh, no. He actually caused that, and I was like, "Oh shit! You'd never get over that."
Yeah, emotional damage is a theme in these books. I don't know if you've realised this.
It's like you killed your potential like baby sibling, and like that. Oh god.
Yeah, that like fucks up a teenager. Like
yeah.
Gabriel is completely redeemed from the Infernal Devices. He's such an amazing dad. I understand why Cecily pushed him into a relationship.
Yes.
My favourite part of his parenting style was not that he wasn't like, no, male clothes for you. It was like, why wear Christopher's? They're disgusting.
Yes.
Like, wear yourself some better clothes there.
Like parenting is like,
It's like, you can have better style than that, Anna.
like, you don't care what you want to wear, just don't wear your brother's clothes.
And like, they're stained, they've been exploded. Like, just
Do better. Do better.
But Anna's got style, so it's fine.
Yes, she does.
Literally, this should be the tagline in every single book written by Cassandra Clare. One thing that really broke me in this story, though, wasn't so much Adrienne, which she annoys me. I don't like her hair. With the whole like, oh yeah, I am, going to be engaged to this guy, but we can carry on in secret. No.
Ariadne.
Yeah, I've typed the name wrong. It autocorrects. Ariadne.
Adrienne.
You know why? Because I'm so used to calling her Ari. I tried typing that the full name and it didn't work. But also, Matthew has started drinking.
Oh.
And it's like,
yeah,
okay, we can see this boy's got some issues now caused by emotional damage by what he did.
Yeah, and he refuses to talk about it with anybody.
That's the thing. Like, I'm just also lack of communication seems to be a trope that lots of authors like to use.
Why discuss when you can repress?
Yes, and why discuss when you repress and drink yourself into oblivion and just push everyone away?
It's like the British way.
I want to have my daughter wearing her brother's atrocious style, knowing her.
That whole moment between her and Cecily, though, where she was like, "Oh my god, she's gonna get a dress out," and she really thought that Mum was gonna force her to wear something girly, and then she was like, "No, look at this silly." She's like, "Oh."
And then she
I also love the moment when Matthew was like, "To take my cravat because this is not working for me." He was a little bit more going on.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Matthew and Anna are like the perfect friendship because they're just so much alike for style. Just like, yes, these two are like perfect, and they like the banter between them is just great. I love it so much.
But in the story, when it was talking about Matthew and how he was just trying to be friends with what's it? Is James?
Yeah.
Is that the name in my head then? And he was just like, and he
named
just
after the other famous James. Like, it's on purpose.
The fact that like that conversation with himself, like I was just trying to be friends with him, and he wasn't my friend. Like, I don't know what I've done wrong, and I was
like, everyone's my friend. Why is
it like? And he's like, because if you think about it, that's like the conversation that you had near the end with James in the story anyway. So it's like it shows that there's like a link between the two stories. I was like, you see his side after seeing James's side of things. I really liked that.
Can we appreciate the fact Anna has the necklace? Mm-hmm. The necklace. But
she does look good in that.
She does. She really does. I really wish the pictures in here were in colour. Because I want them in colour, please and thank you.
I feel like the girl who played Arya Stark would be a good Anna.
Huh?
I don't know why. I feel like not that we're manifesting this being made into a film or anything, but the girl who played Arya Stark.
Oh, Maisie Williams.
I feel like she'd have been a good Anna. Like, she's a proper feisty little one, and she'd be great. But we're not manifesting this, but I'm just saying.
No, they would be
good.
It's nice.
It's a nice thought.
Are we sure Matthew isn't a heron now?
I mean,
let's not question Matthew's parentage, okay? That leads to issues.
Yeah, we've done it once, never again.
The scene with Anna and her parents made my heart swell and make me cry. There was a lot of blue there. See, it's not always sad crying when I'm out
Yeah.
crying. Sometimes it's just, I'm so happy I'm crying.
I had
I
one
was
of those comments with this in the last story. Was it the last story? Don't know. Towards the end with Kit and everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
cute.
See, I was listening to this in work. So the first story I listened to on the way to work, and then the one with Anna was whilst I was in work, and the bit with Cecily and her, I was sat there doing my spreadsheets, sorting out people's training, and I just went, oh. They got behind me. She was like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. It's something sweet happened." So after you ordered, I'm like, yeah.
It was a very lovely moment.
It was.
Especially whereas like in books that are set in that time, you don't expect that to be a nice moment.
Yeah.
Like you expect it to not go the way you want it to go.
Yeah. Which is
because even in like the newer ones where like, you know, homophobia not illegal to be gay now. There's still like the homophobia element of Alec is just like, I cannot come out to anybody because it is not accepted.
Yeah, so yeah, I loved it. It was great.
So the next one, Learn About Loss.
This is the one that made me cry first.
Yeah, it made me cry almost instantly because Will's old.
It's like the year before he dies.
I didn't like this bit.
Yeah, I don't like
this. I'm like, how could you not cry? Because Jem is just like sad that Will is dying. And then they have the moment at the end where like it's a vision and they're in Shanghai and they're young and they're like, I was not okay.
Again, I didn't cry. I was just
cry, and I just stopped reading it for like 3 years.
What did I put there? Oh yeah, I just put the shadow market with Will, lots of exclamation points, hearty face, Jem, hearty face, smiley face, kissy face, Tessa and Jem kissing. Oh my god, yay! They were my notes on that story.
Is that not the next one? Tessa's
Is it?
I'm pretty sure that's the next one.
Oh right, okay.
One.
They're all muddled together at this point, so I didn't really. But yeah. I try not to think about Will dying because he's my favorite character ever. So.
Well, that's why I'm surprised you didn't cry because like there's so much reference to him being dead in this entire book.
Because it didn't happen. I'm sorry, he's still alive and kicking, mate. Like. In my brain, Will's alive, talking about the demon pox, the worms.
I really like how there was like some little mentions of Annabelle and Malcolm in this one as well, because obviously if you haven't read the other books, which again you should have, but like if you haven't read Dark Art of Faces, you'll know nothing, and they will literally just go over your head. But it's really interesting to see the little like mentions of them and be like, oh, I know what goes down there.
Yeah.
Also, can we appreciate the knock knock joke? Knock knock. Who's that? Spell who? WHO.
Yeah.
I was fully laughing for about 5 minutes because I thought about it. I was just like, wow. That's like my sort of joke.
Yeah.
My first time with Jim and we were in Shanghai, he insisted trying to press duck. I love it so much. But literally that little like Amelia making that deal for them, and I was just like, oh, stop it. It hurts.
It does hurt. It was rude. This entire book was offensive to me specifically.
This book was made specifically to offend Meg.
I believe it was.
Especially the next story.
No.
It's literally the second page where it's just like, to Tessa, it felt like London itself grieved for her Will, felt his loss, turned out every light. And I was like, no, stop that.
Yeah.
Because I am in my own little bubble where, like, Will is not dead. He's still alive. He's just
He's
old.
always alive.
And that just, like, reminded me that he is not. And I was not okay with it.
No.
But, like, this whole one, I really liked how you got to see Tessa and Katarina as well.
Yeah.
And, like, because obviously we're British and we know British history, so we got to, like, see them in that actual, like, history we know with the war. And I do like with the bus when they're trying to get Jem back and they get on the bus because buses will always run in London, which in 2023 that is not true.
Back in the day, they were reliable.
The buses are not that reliable anymore. You can't count on them. But yeah, Jem being poisoned was not okay.
No.
I'm okay with that. Was he not dealing with enough with a literal war and trying not to die in that? But then someone decides to poison him as well. Like, do you mind?
The thing is, for a moment there, though, I was just like, when is this? Like, I forgot for a second because all I heard was like Jem poison. Like he's trying to like when was this? He's alive after this, isn't it? And I know that he is. In my mind, I know that he is, but my heart at the time was pounding like a fucking racehorse. And I was like, no, he can't die. He doesn't die, does it? He's alive. He's alive. He will live through this. I'm like, when is this again? Honestly, my brain went through like a million different thoughts.
He's still a silent brother, so he's got to get through like a whole evolution.
And I was like, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, he does live. I was like, yeah, I did.
There's only like 60% of the book still to go. Like, I'm sure he dies here.
But you know, the irrational thoughts you get, it's like, have I read something that says he's still alive? He is alive after this, and it's just
You start like doubting yourself, like,
yeah,
he's not going to survive this.
No, I had a moment or two where I had to collect myself.
I really love that Tessa and Jem still meet every year on Blackfriars Bridge. Like,
that is just the most adorable thing.
I love it so much. And I like how we get to see how horrible the Clave are once again with the whole them murdering a pregnant woman because her husband rushed to save her during battle.
Yeah.
Really, really showing how amazing you are, Clave. Like,
the thing is that, like, we all know from these books up to date how messed up they are. But every time something else comes out, I'm like, how could you do this? I'm like, oh yeah, but that's your MO. Like, this is what you do, is that you ruin people's lives. Like, you do the worst possible thing you could do, like punish people for doing absolutely fuck all wrong, just because it doesn't agree with like what you believe should be like the law. The law is hard, but it is the law. That's what I say to the law. But
I love that Katarina managed to like save the baby at least.
Yeah, and then they kept doing Sony.
Oh,
which is really sweet. Roland lost. Like, why would you do that to me?
Like, warlocks really just like to take in those stray kids, don't they?
Honestly, I really, you know. Yeah, he just runs the other way.
It's away from me
because they push up. But yeah, it was nice to see more of her because obviously she's only seen like, look, she wasn't seen a lot in this, but you do still get the short period that she's on page. You do get like more of a sense of what she's like, and I hope that she'll find out more about her. But
I love Katarina. She's amazing. Great. I want a whole book like Bane Chronicles, but just Katarina.
Yes.
It will mostly be her just being done with Magnus.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Clave really sucks. The only good thing out of it all was Kit.
Yeah.
But the Clave's getting like a revamp. Like, Can we talk about the fact that I obviously missed the Queen of Dark, missed everything live show? Can we talk about like Alec? Just like, excuse me?
Yeah.
Like, love this for him.
The way the first time I read that, I literally fist pumped the air. I was like, is something good gonna come from this? Like, yes, please.
I love her just like, all right, let's go then. Bye.
Laters, have fun here on your own.
Yeah. And everyone was like, unexpected outcome. What do we do with this now?
The next, do you know what? I think the next story is probably my least favorite, like the Wicked ones that follows like Stephen and Celine. Probably my least favorite. I understand why it existed.
It was also so long.
Yeah.
It was one of the longer ones. I was like, this isn't ending. And I don't need Celine's backstory. Like, I don't need to know that she was complicit in the marriage. Like, that's actually fucked up.
But I think my notes were, I did say something about Wicked ones. But Celine, Nida, Robert falling out with Parvati. Jem! Do I feel bad for Celine? Oh my god, Stephen kissing Celine, Montclair. Evil Stephen taking the milk out. Milk? I meant Mick out of Celine. Is it a front? Valentine lied to Stephen about being with the wrong woman to get in with Celine. And I was like, gaspy face.
I also like don't appreciate reading about a Herondale who's like in the circle. Like I understand he was. I don't need to read it.
No.
Do you know what? I'm not convinced he is a Herondale because my first note on this is Stephen's scared of pigeons, not ducks.
I mean, compelling evidence.
We talk about Stephen's just like a pigeon. Like, can you call yourself a Herondale if you're not scared of ducks? Like, come on.
No.
Right, come on. But then my other notes were like mentioning like Celine's abusive childhood. Like, I feel really bad for her at that because like no matter who she is now, like, she didn't deserve that. And it sort of like came full circle for her because, you know, Valentine got her parents, you know. But he's also, it's scary how clever Valentine is at manipulating. And we actually got to like properly see that because the way he manipulates them and how alike are Valentine and Celine. But Celine would probably like it because, you know,
necessity.
Had a very abusive childhood. But I don't know what Valentine's excuse is.
But even though that happened, she was still near the end very conflicted about it. She was like, yeah, they abused me, but they are my parents. Like, and the fact that he kept that from her, and I was just like, it was just a bit shitty. But again, that was done so that he could manipulate her to stick with him, to be on his side, and to not betray him. So he's like, well, I'm going to do this. Like, this will be a favor for you in the long run. And it was just the way that he did that. And he's just a sneaky little shit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I do like the only bit I really liked of this story, to be honest, was Jack Crow and Rosemary. And like, being like, oh, who are these people?
Yeah.
Which obviously we do find out, but in this story, you don't. But I liked that. But apart from that, I didn't really have any other notes on this one. I think this was my least favourite.
Yeah.
I didn't need to see this from Stephen. I didn't need to see him like.
I'm like, Robert's already a dick. Like, I didn't need to see him like more. Like, he's like barely redeemed himself by the time he dies in Queen of Her Darkness. Like, I don't need to then go backwards and see him be like a prick. Like,
yeah. Like taking the piss out of a young girl, I was just like, oh, no.
But like, I do like that we got to see more of the circle because it doesn't do it in like this is like a really redeeming way. Like, you got to see just how like horrendous they were. You didn't get to see them redeemed. I like that. I like that she didn't just give it redemption for the sake, like, oh, Celine had a really rough childhood, but it's okay. Like, it wasn't her. Like, it's not like she gave it as an excuse for why Celine's the way she is. She was like, this is what happened to Celine, and now she is also quite like Valentine, but also being manipulated by Valentine, but also going along with it anyway.
Yeah. Because she's in love with someone who doesn't want to be with her. Like that whole thing sits wrong with me anyway. Even if it wasn't these two characters, that whole plot line in general gives me the big ick. I fucking hate stuff like that.
Yeah. If you
So-
like someone that's in a relationship, suck it up, deal with it, get
Yeah.
over it, and move on.
Yeah.
And the
Find
fact
someone
that
that isn't in a relationship. Don't try and break them up.
and the fact that he was like, "Oh, I could get him to leave her for you," and I'm just like, "Why? Who would want that? Like that shit was like, ew, no, move on."
But it shows how like arrogant and sure of himself Valentine is.
Yeah.
To know you can just say that with confidence, knowing that if I tell Stephen to get rid of his wife and marry you, he'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that's exactly what happened. Like,
And she knew it was wrong, and she was like, "This is going to hurt me, and that is why I am doing it." Like,
Yeah. Sadistic.
It was a typo and they meant ducks. I reread it and I was like, but he's a herring. Why is it pigeons?
He's not. We'll just pretend that he isn't, because he's not really, is he? The Herringdales are good people.
Son of the Dawn was probably one of my favourites, and it made me laugh the most, purely because of Lily Chen and her different names for brother Zachariah. Snackariah. Once you go Zachariah, you never go Backariah. There were just so many.
yeah.
And just everyone was just like, Lily, you are my favourite.
And the fact that like she'd say them, and like he'd be like, no, and then Tessa wanted to know more.
Tessa was like, tell me more. I love Tessa so much. I'm trying to find another one.
One of my favorite parts of just the entire set of stories is just everyone's like, "Oh, Dad, he's real hot for a silent brother." Like, what the fuck? I didn't know they could be hot. Like, literally, everyone was like, "I don't think that's allowed."
It's a novel. Why is this a thing?
Brother,
It's
hop
good.
in the Zachariah. I just want to find every single one. Brother, let him see my Rachariah. I'm pretty sure I did a
There's more in the next story as well, isn't there? Because
she continues to cheat every single time she sees him. She's like, "Oh, what names can I do?" But I just love how done Raphael. It's like, really? Why?
people keep calling me friend, and you keep flirting with the silent brother. Can we not do this anymore, please?
Oh, I felt sorry for Lily's though. She loved Raphael, didn't she?
Yeah.
Bless her.
I love him.
Bless her
Literally.
little cotton socks.
But also, like, we get to see how Jace came to the Lightwoods.
Yes.
And like,
That was adorable.
also we get to see Max as like a toddler, and I'm like, not okay.
But also the fact that Jace wanted a pirate tie because he spoke to Jem about Will, I was like, that hurt me in a way that I was not expecting.
I mentioned the staff and the initials, and I was like, no, stop it. I don't need this emotional damage.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I thought they were just parabatai because when they were at the institute, things that happened. But now he saw that, like, that Jem still had a relationship with the man who died a long time ago. And then it made him stronger. I'm like, I don't feel like Jace wants a parabatai for the right reasons in this story.
Yeah.
Well, like, he gets that. It's okay. But I was like,
But it's also like, again, that's a very Herondale thing, because Will doesn't become parabatai with Jem for the right reason.
No, he doesn't.
well, you're going to die anyway. So this is okay.
James doesn't really get a choice.
Yeah.
Matthew's just like, we're parabatai.
He's like, oh.
Now
Okay.
or I'm going to bind you in friendship forever.
And you don't really have a choice because, you know, it's loose of shit up and I've just ran away with you. You can't remember. Like, oops.
I do love how Jace got the name Jace, like with Mayrith.
Yeah.
Like, I know Mayrith is not the greatest person, but that was a cute moment.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
the fact that they were like, what, we're not going to rename you. Like, the fact that he would have just accepted them just giving him a new name.
Yeah.
Because Valentine's like drummed it into him just to obey. And it's just like, no, that's still your name. It's just, this is a nickname. And it's just like, oh. But the fact little Max calls him Jonathan. Say hi to Jonathan, kids. Hi, Jonathan. I'm just like,
Oh,
wait, this one. Celine seeing tying herself to a husband who doesn't love her as a suitable form of punishment. Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's a need to invest in therapy. Like, please.
That's mundane medicine. They're not allowed mundane medicine.
that's why they're all cuckoo.
I think it's proof how different he is from other Herondales. Yes, Lily Chen and her gem nicknames. Lily is a queen. I want Raphael back.
We have a new Raphael, but a different one.
Zachariah like a bad pony. Oh, literally, like, just the names are everything. I love them so much. The next one was sad. The Land I Love. So I love how it does start out with Max just arguing with a demon. A little warlock baby Max arguing with a demon. And it's like, well, we're training him not to be easily led by them. And it's like, fair. Fair. And the demon's just like, I didn't do it on purpose. It was a reflex.
Like, I'm a demon. What do you want from me?
Like, I love it. And just the fact that it's just in the middle of the sitting room. I'm just like, will they ever have a normal house? No. There's not a demon just in the middle.
Oh.
And like Max fully just bit like every time Alec leaves the house, are you bringing back a brother or sister?
Yeah.
And this time he does.
It was so sweet. It's like, well done, you did it.
Yeah. Like, is this for me? Is this for me?
Brother or sister? I love Max so much. He's adorable.
When he was like, I'm a shadow hunter. And he's like, you're a warlock, I'm a shadow hunter. Wow, adorable is what you are. Like, just.
Oh, Raphael faking seasickness when Jem talks to him about shouting out love. And he's like, oh, of course I get the touchy-feely silent brother.
Yeah.
Next time, can I request a different one? Raphael actually meeting an almost 12-year-old Alec. I distinctly remember you being 12.
Alec having a crush on Raphael? Like, excuse me?
I mean, it's a mood.
They're like, damn, too hot.
And like, from that point, is he even being like, Alec?
Yeah. And then Jay showing up and him being like, oh no, he's hotter. Okay, we can go.
Move
Like,
on.
He's also not a vampire.
Yeah. He won't want to suck my blood.
He doesn't end up with a shadow hunter. He ends up with a warlock. Did he ever have a crush on a werewolf, do you think?
I mean, Luke is right there.
Luke was a salt, wasn't he?
I love Max. That story has so many tabs. It's just.
I love when Alec is like, we need to talk at the end, and Magnus is like, yeah, we need to talk. Like, you've just adopted a child. And he's like, well, I haven't. Like, we need to have a discussion. He's like, are we not adopting this child? I've already told you we're adopting him. Like,
I've already said.
It's the fact that Rafe keeps stealing his phone to look at the pictures that Magnus is sending of Max.
Yeah.
Like,
it's so sweet.
Like, the thing is, I don't think they didn't adopt Rafe. Rafe adopted them.
Yeah.
He was like, you.
Yeah, Rafe was like, I hate everybody but Magnus. And if Magnus likes Alec, then I guess I can like him too.
Yeah. And I just love the fact that initially it was very, very standoffish with everything. And then you could slowly see that like he went to grab for Alex and that, and like even in that short period of time they were together, he sort of like warms to Alex in it as well. But that's what when I first met him, I was like, Raphael, that's like that's their second kid's name. And it was it didn't trigger my head for a second. But it's nice to see how that story actually started. and where he actually met him from, because obviously we know how they got Max, but
Yeah.
it was nice to see actually where they got Rafe from. And the fact that they called him Rafe, it was just it was.
Although it does remind me of like in Queen of Red Darkness and Fuel, Raphael's like, rename the kid. When he's like, they named it Kid after me. No, rename the kid.
Yeah, I was like, oh, as soon as like, well, obviously he wasn't like named after him, but like when I first like, we didn't know that when we first met Raphael the kid.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, Raphael would hate that. Raphael would not like that at all.
I actually have quite a lot of notes on this one. Like one of them, Bat and Maya make me happy because they're happy, and Maya doesn't.
She does.
I love them.
Is there anything more romantic than a love interest learning a language for the other person in this?
Like, honestly, that is just like the cutest thing.
Peak romance.
Yeah. Like they learn a language for them.
Like, I swear, Cassie, I know you like to kill characters. Please, just let Maya be happy.
Oh God, she deserves it. I mean, she's been through a lot.
Kill Jordan in front of her. Save that.
They've all been through a lot, but Maya, I feel like, she was turned, like, she didn't really want to be turned. She was then abandoned by the person who turned her. He came back, and all that shit she's been through.
Like, that was a thing that happened.
Yeah. And so she deserves to have a little bit of happiness now. Just leave her be. We've had their story. They're together. They're happy. Oh, yay. Don't mention them again.
Yeah. Was also being cheated on by Simon for a while. Like, that also happened.
Yes. Oh, God. I forgot that. That was horrible. Simon, little twat.
But also, Jeb and Tessa are all like happily married in this one.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is so cute. I love
the adorable factor.
Language for him, like,
yeah. The adorable scale is just off the charts for this story. Everything's just like
everything. And like when they're there and Alex fully just sticking up for downworlders, and I'm just like, yes,
he's brilliant in there. I love his and Lily's friendship. It's just the best, and the fact that like she trusts Alec 100%. But not anybody else. She's like,
yeah, because like she shared so much with him in the story, didn't she?
I know.
Not talked about it with anybody, and then Alex just like, they're there. Just like, what to do with that information?
Bless him.
Yeah.
I do love how I think it was like nearer the end? I'm not sure if it was nearer the end, but when they like you get to see a bit of like Alec and Clary being like friends now, and like when they go to Simon's and they just disappear for Choco. And I'm just like, I love this so much.
Yeah. Alex like, yeah, I finally like you now. We can disappear and go get tacos. Like you're down.
We don't need to listen to your Parapatos band because they're not good. Then when he gets the Jace text and Alec is like, you want my phone? Take the phone.
Yeah.
And all of this happening during the Dark Artifices.
Yeah.
Sleep, Lily, I'll watch the doors. Yeah.
Their friendship is just adorable.
I really Lily's backstory broke me.
Yeah,
it was horrible.
And Rafe almost dying. Like I was fully. How did you not cry at that?
I don't know.
I don't understand. That's it. It was breaking me. I was sobbing.
I don't know. Maybe I've been broken by so much fucking crying that I just can't seem to cry. The couple of books I've read this month, I've not cried at any of them. I've thought, oh my god, yeah, it's sad, but I've just stopped crying at shit. I think my tear ducts have broken.
just like desensitized to anything Cassie throws at you now.
Yeah. Just like Cassie.
I wonder if it's anything Cassie throws at you.
Oh God, there's just a wall between me and Cassie right now. There's a wall that she's trying to get through, but she ain't gonna get through. Tears are not gonna fall for Cassie anymore.
Okay. I think.
Can we appreciate the fact that, like, Alec doesn't give up until all the werewolves are saved? Like,
because
and they're feeling like, wait, why is he still in there? It's like, because there's still werewolves in there. Like, he ain't leaving until they've left. But then I can't remember his name. The nice shadow hunter. I can't remember. Like, the fact that he like went in and helped, and I was just like, oh.
And then he was so flirty with Rose.
It's like,
I just adopted your children now.
Yeah. That bit was it. They were just being like, what?
It was Joaquin.
Yes, the one.
He was like one of the. He was the good guys, and he was like, when he was apologizing for the way that the others treated Alec when he first came in. It's like, I didn't realize we were going to be like that. And then he literally, without question, just stood by Alec and was just like, "Nah, I'm with you." And yeah, the banter between him and Rose was just.
Was it Juliet? Sorry, I can't remember. Whoever the queen of the Shadow Market was.
Yeah.
Was it?
Was it Juliet?
I think it was Juliet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Juliet.
Rose was a different Shadow Market thing.
I love though when Lily and Alec and Rafe get back, and like Robert's there, and he's like, "Hi, Lily," and he's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "You've met me 26 times." She's like, "I don't recall."
That's what you do. You're shit, Dad. Your son's friends will take the piss out of you at any given opportunity.
So if you get me just a generally shit person.
That interaction that they have, like Alec and Robert, actually made me cry because we know that he's literally gonna die soon. And like, whilst Robert was not a good person, he didn't get a redemption arc, which I'm glad about. Like, yeah, he was better, but he still wasn't a good person.
No.
But it hurts me because of Alec and Izzy, but I think Izzy didn't care as much as Alec because she didn't have that relationship. But like, knowing that like a little while after that, he loses Robert, and I'm just like, no.
The thing is with Alec though, he wanted to make his dad so proud, didn't he? Like that's one of the things that was like really important to him, that his dad wasn't an emotional person. His dad didn't show emotion, and he wanted him to be proud of him, and he thought that because he still had that thing where it's like, because he's got with a warlock, and you know he's out and proud and is gay, that made it like that Robert wasn't proud of him. But the fact that whole conversation there, so more like you said, more so for Alec, and the fact that he knows his dad actually was proud of him and what he was doing and wanted him to like take over afterwards or whatever. The fact that Alec got that before he died was what he needed, because you know he didn't get much of his mum either. They were very like unfeeling parents towards him, so it was really
a bit different from the other Lightwood parents we've seen. Like, they went backwards.
Yeah, they very much did.
They were very opposites for their times.
Yeah.
But I love how at the end of this, like, Max is getting Shadowhunter training. I love that he's getting that Shadowhunter training, and it's like partly to like stop Max going on about it, but also it does make sense for him to be able to defend himself without magic.
100%.
I'm just like,
surprise attack.
Why aren't all warlocks gonna learn this? Like, come on.
Like, yeah, he can't get the runes, but he's got the magic side of things if he wants to do anything like that. So it's just in case, you know, Fuel might happen. Fuel 2.0, whatever it is. Where they lose the magic.
about the future of the Shadowhunters.
Yeah, and I was saying at the end of the Queen of Air and Darkness live show that I'm really glad, because after this live show, like where the future ones are concerned, I can talk theories, because I don't know anything past the timeline at the end of this, and it's nice. I don't have to be careful about that.
Then
It's
the
great.
Wicked Powers comes out.
I'm not ready for that, but I need it now.
Have you read The Secrets of Blackthorn Hall?
I haven't.
No.
I don't even know like how to go about reading it. I just know that I need to.
I know it was all posted on Tumblr, but it's finding the start.
Yeah, I've definitely seen bits and pieces of it on Tumblr, and I was like, I can't look at that yet because I've not read The Dark Artifices, and now I have, so I can. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do that now.
I'll let you know.
I emailed them constantly, and I deleted all of those emails because I didn't think at the time. And I'm just like,
why did I do that?
What do I do now?
I cried at next one. Through Blood, Through Fire. My first note is like 6 pages in, and it's just poor Rosemary.
Yeah.
Because it's just they found a nightmare. Rosemary lying still in a pool of blood.
Yeah,
but
also like,
oh,
I was like, I knew Tessa was fine. Like I knew she was fine. However, she got like fatally injured, and I was like,
didn't like it.
I was not prepared for that.
that was not okay.
But I was like, you're gonna shapeshift into the thing that all of the fairies want dead. Like, is this a smart to then go to the Shadowhunter market looking like that? Are we thinking this is a good idea?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
And it's the fact that like maybe this time you should stay dead, and it's like, oh yeah, maybe you shouldn't have done this, Tessa.
Yeah.
Like you could have just like disguised yourself as anyone else just to like go looking. Like you didn't have to look like yourself. You didn't have to look like the person they've just thought they killed. Not very smart. Tessa's supposed to be smart. So's Jem.
They had a moment, okay? A moment of weakness, a moment of Simonness. Where they just didn't think shit through properly, okay? And then that happened. It happened, okay?
But I liked getting to see like Rosemary's background, even if it was very sad. Like the final thing that she says to them is just in them arguing, and I'm like, oh no, that's not good. Like the moment she had the argument and then left, I was like, that's it. That's the final time she's seeing her parents alive.
Yeah, like I am glad that like her relationship with like Johnny or Jack, whatever we're calling him, was like a good one. That like they were happy.
Yeah,
because I feel like what we saw of him in like Lady at Night, he was not like a very nice person.
Yeah.
And he didn't really treat Kate great. And I was just like, I'm not really sure that his mom had a great time in life, you know? But like she seemed happy when they were together. It's just Kit that suffered.
And the thing is, you can understand why, like, I think his name's Jack Crow at the time, like why he's so against Shadowhunters, because look what's happened to his whole life because of Shadowhunters. Not just because of Shadowhunters, but because of Shadowhunters. And it's like, you can understand. Like,
I think what's really funny is like it's nothing actually to do with Shadowhunters. They don't know that they exist. Like the Shadowhunters are not looking for them. And like even if they found them, it was only recently that they found out that the whole fairy thing was happening. And that's just like a very small group of Shadowhunters. So like everyone else would have just been like, oh, well, Lost Herondale. All right, I guess. I mean, you can come live here if you want to. That would have been all that would have happened. Like,
but I suppose like the Shadowhunters finding out about him and him then being a part of the world would have attracted the fairies to knowing about him as
well. It would, but that's like not the Shadowhunters' fault.
Yeah.
Like, so all of their like hatred of the Shadowhunters stems from just like them not understanding. Like,
But then if you think back, like the whole reason Roland was like brought up not by Shadowhunters was not a nice story, and it was because of
Shadowhunter, terrible, play very bad. But just Kit has no act like, and like the line has nothing to like. They're not being actively hunted by the Shadowhunters. They literally only have the Fae. That is the issue. Like the Shadowhunters don't care for all intents and purposes. They were dead. Like they did not exist. Like the Shadowhunters weren't looking for them. They weren't an active threat. So to have like such a vehement hatred of Shadowhunters, I'm just like, well, they don't know.
Raya only ever came to them trying to offer them help as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, just accept the help. Things might have gone differently. They might not have, but they might have gone differently.
I can understand being dubious about the Shadowhunters, obviously, because, you know, the clip and, you know, they are wankers. But it's, and you can, I can understand why, you know, they were trying to dodge, but there's like Raya, they didn't know whether to trust him or not. But, yeah, that whole story between those two was just, it was a lot, wasn't it? It was very sad. And
I feel like this got less sad for me the further I got through the book, because it was less about everyone being sad about Will and more about just like people getting on with like different parts of their lives.
People dying. Kit's mum just
like, I didn't know Rosemary from like other. I've got no true. Through Rosemary from like a previous series where like she didn't rewire my brain chemistry.
Didn't even know her. Like Kit didn't even. He knew that she was his mum, but he never really knew her past like toddler age. So he doesn't even have any memories of her.
Yeah.
Like I was sad that she died, but I wasn't like sad that she died. I was just like, oh, it's a shame.
I think also the fact that Jem sort of like not failed, but kind of failed.
It felt like he failed her because she didn't accept his help.
Yeah.
And like, if they hadn't been stuck in LA traffic, could they have helped a little bit more?
I'm just going to quickly close the curtains and turn the light on because it's very dark in here now. We're done now. I can see.
This is as bright as it's going to get in here.
I now, however, need to turn that off because otherwise it's too bright and I don't like it. Yeah, literally this with Tessa. I was like, and I was doing what you've done, and I was like, wait, where in the timeline is this? And I was like, no, it's fine. We see past this in the timeline. It's fine. Because this isn't like
everything just messes with your mind, isn't it? Because you're like, no, this is a short story collection. No, they're alive. It's fine.
It's different with Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy because it all takes place between two books, whereas Flame Chronicles and Go to the Shadow Market don't.
No. But I do think it's really cool. Like, I don't know if Cassie plans her books in advance or when she actually wrote these, but I do like how everything does link, and you can go, oh, I remember that happening in that series. Or that's when this is taking place. It'll be this part in the series, and I do like that. And I understand why you have to read these after the Dark Artifices and before.
Yeah.
So I did start these before the Dark Artifices, and like I said, I stopped reading because then I looked at what the next ones were about, and I was just like, oh, I don't recognize some of those names. I'm gonna not read anymore.
Yeah, it's not so bad to read some of them before Dark Artifices, but like do what this one did and stop. One of my notes for this was, and I've had to go to the page because I couldn't remember. I want a map of the places Magnus has caused chaos.
Oh yeah, so in the market there are the maps out there that testify. I want one too. She was like, she bought 3. I'm like, who is she giving them to? Like,
I feel like little Karina's got to have one.
Yeah.
Like Magnus needs to have one like framed on a wall somewhere.
My life.
Frame that.
Yeah.
But then one for herself. So I'd just be like, I want one, please.
Yeah.
I think Cassie needs to just get an illustrator to make one and sell it, because I would totally buy that.
Like, I want
this
some
is
cool merch.
all the places where Magnus caused events, things to happen, trouble.
Then my final note for this one was just, I know we already know Tessa's pregnant, but seeing them find out makes my heart so happy.
Yeah. And then
like,
like the Will moment at the end when like they both see him. Rude.
Be reminded of that.
Yeah, that's why that wasn't her last note. It was the other thing that was her last note.
I'm pretty sure I did mark that in blue. Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Why did you mark that in blue, Becca? What happens when you mark things in blue?
I cry.
Really? That's not like you.
A new soul of you and Tessa. I can hardly wait to meet such a paragon. Like, that's offensive.
Yeah.
That's offensive.
And then the next one is the first like new bit of timeline we get to see. And my first note was, Gia's health improved.
I thought she was done. I thought she was gonna die, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, she was ill. And it was like, what?
Yeah,
why
and she'd given up her position and like taking a back seat, she wanted to rest, and I was like, oh, she's resting.
Yeah.
She's taking that retirement because she's gonna be.
But her giving up her position was probably so she could focus on getting better. And it's like,
yeah.
Perfect.
But you know, we don't think of this with Cassie, do we? We think, oh, she's good in a position, she's gonna die.
We don't trust her for good reason.
No.
It's interesting to see the whole like Livy and Ty thing. Still not okay that Livy, but it's interesting to see like them trying to figure out how far apart they can go. Yeah. Because obviously Livy is linked, and like what starts happening when Livy goes a bit too far.
Yeah. I don't want to know if that storyline carries on into the last hours, because that was freaky.
Into the last hours.
Wicked powers.
Wicked powers. That's it.
I was like, they're definitely not in the last hour.
Wicked powers. Wicked powers is what I mean. Because I didn't like that whole when her like the thought that she had of taking that baby, like swapping her. Yeah. I mean, I could understand because of the way she died, because it was so quick, it wasn't expected, and she's been then brought back by her brother, well, half brought back into this ghostly form. I can understand why everything would be a bit of a mess for her, and obviously they've got this connection that they shouldn't really have. But that bit was very creepy. I did not like that.
That's not her. So the further apart from Ty she is, she loses that humanity. And she becomes more like a poltergeist. Yeah. So that's not her. That's like her losing her humanity because she's been away from
her voice was in the back of her head. She was like, "Don't do this."
Yeah. And like
I didn't like that at all. That really made me go like. Ugh.
But I'm glad that Magnus knows about it. Because he can keep an eye on it, on the situation.
You know what I really did like? I liked that they named her Wilhelmina. I'm like, one, Mina's a really cute name. Like, I love like the whole Dracula vibe going on there. And two, she was named after Will, and like James was named after Jem, and I'm like, it's just full circle. Like, I love it, and I hate it.
I love it, but I hate it, and I love it though.
Yeah.
I found it interesting that Livy was affecting things in the Institute. So obviously, again, like, so she like. She blew all the windows in Jem and Tessa's.
Yeah.
And all the doors like flew open in the Institute. Was it the doors in the Institute?
She knocked over the plates.
Yeah. So it's like very poltergeisty.
Yeah. And then she did something. She turned off like Drew's TV or something. And
yeah. And it's just like, this is worrying. Please stay near.
I don't like that. Oh, but can we? Ty has a pet now. Like, My boy needs a friend first and foremost, but I do love that he has a cat.
It's so cute, and he's like got to like make sure that it lives because it wasn't gonna live, and it's just like, oh, and he maybe has a friend.
Yeah, Catherine was like, "You need a friend. You're going to be his friend. Off you go."
And he just comes back with loads of scratches from this cat. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Elliot. We talked about Lily, but not Elliot. I love Elliot. Oh, Elliot's great.
Elliot's fine. I don't have much to say about Elliot.
He was there.
Yeah.
He made an appearance.
The oldest and youngest siblings named after two great loves of their mum.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Like, that's not normal.
Healthy.
Like, just imagine being reminded of your dead best friend and your dead husband just when you look at the water.
Yeah, can we not appreciate Elliot?
What, Robert not realizing he's being aggressively flirted with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it was funny, but yeah, it was.
Also, the cohort, of course, have a way to spy on the outside world.
Oh, of course they do.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Assholes, what they are.
Which is really opening it up for the wicked powers. Unfortunately, we're probably going to see the cohort again.
Yeah. I really want this to just be dealt with in like 20 pages. Just like another bop on the head, off you go. Like, done now.
It's like, goodbye. Now let's focus on the real issue of the series, Theo.
Like, also,
Janice, however we're pronouncing that.
We also need to focus on Kit and Ty. That is the thing that we need to fix in this.
I mean, Kit did give Magnus the heron necklace for Ty and Livy.
And Livy was like, "You're going to write him a letter right now." And he will keep writing him letters until he writes back.
I love Livy so much.
Even in death.
We still got her in some way.
They just need to have a conversation because they just misconstrued that last interaction between them so much. And I'm like, you just need to like get over the fact that you know Ty didn't respond the way you wanted him to, and like go talk to him.
I feel like Kit hit his limit because Kit was so good at communicating with Ty about most things and like understanding how to communicate with Ty. But then this one thing, like, he's had so much heartbreak in his life already, and for Ty to do it to him as well, it was his breaking point, which fair.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Kit should like.
Now that you've calmed down,
he did.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just a thought.
Clearly, they both want to.
Like leave in like the middle of the night with your new family. Just never talk to anyone again. Like that's not a way to deal with
the beach from afar, but don't go say anything.
I know. That's the thing. I was like, go speak to him. Like I could retroactively through the page push Kit to speak to Ty, and Cassie's gonna rewrite that ending so they actually have a conversation. But no.
I would have even been okay if like Ty had looked over and seen him in the distance, and they'd like acknowledged each other. That would have been better than nothing. But no. I feel like this is at the cohort, and yes, I would like them to go away. They can stay where they are.
Why is Manuel not just dead? Like truly, just let him die.
Why Manuel? He have died in the battle.
The fact that Zara basically killed Emma and just like is fine. Could not be me.
Not for me.
That I feel like why couldn't she have died in that battle? She deserved that. Like
I feel like for the wicked powers, we need to see Zara and Manuel just die a very grisly death, preferably being killed by Emma.
I feel like that girl's getting up a bit of a kill count now. Maybe someone else.
I don't know. I kind of want Diego to have his moment.
Yes, the arranged marriage situation. Manipulative little bitch. Stabby. You
I like
dead.
kind of in revenge for the torture.
Yes. Yeah, literally, I can't decide what I want more out of those. It's not going to be either of those options because this is Cassie. She's probably going to try and give at least one of them a redemption. And it's like, no.
I really want like Noel to be trying to manipulate someone and it to just really backfire on him and just like a really quick like, oh bitch, you thought, and then just like a stabby, just like immediately done kind of deal.
Little throat slit, just
yeah. Just like because he was constantly like manipulating like the Fae and stuff, wasn't he? So like if one of them is just like, you thought you tricked me, goodbye, and just like behead him. I feel like it would be satisfying.
So that'd be great. Plotting the death
books for years because she's on hiatus and we have no idea when they're coming.
So let's just write to Cassie.
The first book when she does come back is going to be the Third Eldest Curses. I hope it is, as much as I want the Wicked Howard.
Or it's going to be the next adult Swordcatcher book.
Yeah. She doesn't want to finish the Shadowhunter World books. She's been with these books for so long. She's going to put it off, finish them as long as she possibly can. But I really do want the worst of things to happen to those two people.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the cohort to just be like, and yeah, I genuinely don't want it to be like any of them to get a redemption arc. None of them deserve it. They both deserve to die gruesome deaths. And then
I feel like some of the cohort that are probably trapped in Idris, they probably are redeemable. They're probably trapped with family, didn't want to leave family that had decided to.
Yeah.
Those people don't deserve to die. Maybe hurt
maimed a little bit. Scarred for life.
But you know, like the ones that actively are like with the cohort, just we don't need them.
They just watched while one of their friends
had multiple chances.
Yeah. What was her name? Sam? Was it Samantha? They went in the pool. And they were just like, oh, let's blame a downloader for it. Wankers.
But let's talk about the final book. The final one.
So that last story also made me tear up because obviously Kit then cried in Jem's arms because he was like part of the family. And now we can move on to the final one.
Oh, there's an exact quote, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but there's an exact quote. Where is it? Where is it? I don't know where it is. But it was just like, Kit has a home. Like, he actually has a home. And I'm happy. And like, Kit and Tessa's whole like, read that book, saw the movie.
And like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
And I love that even though like it was Jem that initially like took him in, like he's instantly bonded with Tessa. Like,
I mean, how could you not? Let's be real.
Yeah.
She's just a gem, isn't she? You can't not like her if you're a feeling human being. Like, she's great.
Jonathan and Valentine didn't deserve redemption, and neither did those two. I disliked them so much I forgot their name.
You are not worthy of me remembering your name, bitches.
My first note on this first one, I'm pretty sure from what I've written down, it's Lily. Is it Lily? Where is it?
Oh, Lily made me sad in this one. Because she bumps into like Janice and is like, yeah, sure, I'll like give you a favor one time if you bring back Raphael from the other place.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't like that.
That I hated that bit. I was
I feel like that's gonna come back and be not good in the future.
Yeah, definitely isn't. Lily's gonna have to betray somebody.
Yeah.
Because she said that she was gonna help him if he could bring Raphael back.
I mean, if she doesn't tell anyone about the other Jace, then she's already betraying them. Like,
yeah, true.
And I don't like that.
I don't. Cause we were doing so well. She was. We had a downworlder that was working well with them. That was friends. Everything was going well. And this, I don't fucking like it.
I found a bit. It's not actually Lily that says it. So like a fairy says it to Jem, and then as they're walking away, Kit's like, "No, I'm good. Come on, brother, hauntingly attractive." And there's no need to mention this to Tessa. And yet, I'm gonna. I just love the little interactions like that. But also the fact that, like, even though Jem is not a silent brother anymore, he still has all those connections, not friendships, but like connections in the shadow market. And it's really nice to see that. I'm gonna be honest, I feel a little bad for Janice because let me explain. In Fuel, he's lost Clary. He's basically been made to follow Sebastian or die. He's had to watch everyone he loves die. And now his grief is very clearly going to make him go a little bit mad.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be his fault entirely.
No.
I have a little bit bad for him.
Like, bad things happen to people and they don't decide to move to a different universe and try and like steal the life of the person that they look like, you know? Like, there are other ways of dealing with that grief. And then he was like, oh, this isn't going to work because I'm not nice enough. I guess I'll just destroy the world instead.
To be fair, if you've been like having to deal with Sebastian, you've probably got like lose your marbles a little bit as well.
I'd probably just be like, maybe I should just die too. Maybe this is just like not worth carrying on. He kills like mother.
He needs to make sure Ash is okay.
Yeah, so you either focus on Ash and just help Ash, or you like die. You don't focus on Ash so that he can take over the world and you can get the love of your life back from the alternate you.
I'm not defending him. I'm just saying I can understand that he's gone a little bit mad.
Yeah.
But also just killing those two kids.
Oh, that was so mean.
And I'm just like...
You should have been suspicious further away.
Yeah. Like, I didn't like it and don't like it.
And they were so nice to Alec.
Yeah.
No, it's just like,
Alec just saying my husband just made my heart just like
I'd previously be sad that he couldn't get married in Shadowhunter Gold, and I was like, you can now. You can.
And the fact that he did reference it a few times that he when he was talking about Magnus, it was referred to him in different ways, like on my partner.
Hate that.
Yeah.
Don't like that at all. I don't want to stick around.
No, yeah. And the fact that he was just like, my husband now.
Janice's story makes me sad, but it's not okay, and I really hope Lily doesn't actually betray them. Yeah, like, it's sad. He has a sad story. I'm not going to defend what he's going to do in the Wicked Powers, because let's be real, he's going to be the big bad in the Wicked Powers.
He's a sad boy.
He's a sad boy. But not in the same way other ones are sad boys.
He's a sad bad boy.
I hope him and Ash find a different pace. Also, Ash needs a reunion with Drew. So here's my theory, because I can talk theories. I've got a feeling Drew's going to be the one to bring Ash to the better side of life.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily them be a thing, because they are still teenagers and we don't need that. Let's have a platonic relationship.
Yeah.
But no matter what their relationship is, I feel like Drew might be the like shining star of the Wicked Powers trilogy. I feel like she needs a moment.
Yeah, she does. Everyone else seems to have had their moment a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's like Kit's definitely going to be prevalent, being, you know, descended from the first heir. Like, I feel like him and Ash are like direct counterparts, like power.
Yeah,
like
it is
like princesses of fairy. Oh my god, Kit's like a prince of fairy.
Oh my god.
The thing is, it's like with the Dark Artifices. Yes, it was Emma and Julian's trilogy, but Christina, like, so like this can easily be in time. True.
Because I wasn't on the Queen of Our Darkness live, I didn't get to be super happy that we got Kieran, Mark, Christina,
Do you know how
together.
hard it was not talking about that in the previous live show?
It
So we
sounds
both said it, that we were like, throuple.
I was like, I see it. I see it being so. And then when I thought they were going to end up together because he was going to be the king and they had nowhere to meet, I was like furious. I was like, you gave me a taste.
The message I got from Meg when she got to that bit, I was just sat giggling at my phone because I was like, oh, she's got to be so happy when she gets
I was like, one of the reasons it got 5 stars was because that happened.
It would have lost the whole star if that hadn't happened.
I mean, it might. We don't know.
Where was my other notes on this? A cute moment when Jem was just watching Kit trying to comfort Mina when she woke up, and it was just like,
over the blanket.
I was just like, he's like a big brother.
It's adorable.
My heart can't take this. I was crying at that part as well.
Really?
I know. Me cry? What? I love how Clary knew when she kissed Janice. She knew that it wasn't Jace.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, huh? And it's like,
but she was only slightly suspicious though. She was like, "You okay? You feel different or whatever?" I'd have preferred it. Obviously, she can't have just been like, "You're not my Jace," because then the wicked powers wouldn't be a thing. But yeah.
I mean, you can't just like outright be it that someone like, "Are you who you say you are?" Like, I feel like that would be a weird comment. Like, because if it wasn't him, and she's not really like prepared to like fight him at this moment, like,
yeah,
there's.
And but obviously, it wouldn't hurt her, like touch wood, hopefully. Like, I feel like that's just one limit. Her and Ash, they're safe. Everyone else, free game.
I feel like Claire is going to have a conversation with like Julian or Emma or something at some point, and it's going to come out that there was another Jason. She's going to like think back and be like, "Oh, hang on a sec."
Yeah,
like, it was that
maybe
guy.
The only ones who came back.
I hope so. Anyway, I made a comment. I can't remember what it was that made me make this note. This is why I put page numbers so that I can easily find. Where is it? There were rumours about a danger the Queen would not speak of, but that Janice had heard about nonetheless. The descendant of someone called the First Heir. Whoever it was, if they dared to threaten Ash, if anyone ever dared to threaten Ash again, Janice would hunt them down and present Ash with their heads. And I was just like, well, the Wicked Powers is going to be Janice and Ash against Kit and Ty.
Ty's not. No, Kit's not hunting him down. Like, Kit doesn't care.
Yeah. Yep. But that's not going to stop Janice from being like, you're a threat.
No.
You need to go.
Poor Kit. Just getting his life together, and then some fucker from another parallel universe is going to come and screw it.
Yeah.
Janice. What name is that?
It's like a Greek, a Roman god.
I don't care. It's a shit name.
I will say this story made me like not hate Ty. I could never hate Ty, but like I really wanted to just like slap him for how he's made Kit feel, because like Kit was fully like feeling like I've never been enough, not for anyone, and I'm trying, but I don't know if I ever will be.
Yeah.
And it's like, Ty, why would you make Kit think that he wasn't enough? Like he wasn't enough. Like, why would you do this? Like, why? Why? Like, I'm not happy with Ty right now. It's not bad, but Kit and Mina.
The context of that conversation with Ty like is important though. Like Ty didn't really know what he was saying.
Yeah. And like Magnus has kind of explained it to him now, but like he's still Like, they need to have the conversation. They need to.
It was going through a lot, though, wasn't he? Like, you know, it was the timing was wrong as well. It was already overwhelmed with the whole Livy situation, and the spell not working and whatnot. And then it was like this big reveal of feelings, and we all know that it's difficult for people with autism to process emotions in that way anyway. So he probably was just feeling a bit overwhelmed. But again, after the fact.
It was even before Kit said that Ty was just like making Kit feel like he wasn't enough. It was like,
yeah,
right there, and you don't care. You're so focused on just getting Livy back. You don't care who you hurt. And I get that, like, Ty didn't understand that.
Yeah.
But now that it's been explained to him, there needs to be a conversation with Kit.
Wicked Powers Book 1, they're going to have a conversation and they'll be together for the whole trilogy. Yeah. Kit and Ty against the world. Woo!
I absolutely love how in the Lady Midnight live show, you was like, oh, they can be parabatai.
And I was like, I don't think so.
I was like, maybe.
I was like, I wasn't getting platonic.
See, I was thinking, because in Lady Midnight, it was kind of edging more towards, although I was thought maybe he might be bi, but he sort of like prefers Livy and they were going to be a thing, because when him and Livy kissed, I thought maybe they were going to like go back and pursue that. So then I thought, well, if that does become a thing, then they could have been parabatai because he was the only one that Ty would open up to, or like as including their little thing. But then when it was like came to more of a realization that it wasn't a platonic thing and him and Livy weren't going to happen, and I was like, I think I like this one better. I like this one better.
I can't remember if I read this comment, but yeah, I can't wait to see Kit and Mina. I'm hoping there's a slight time jump like there usually is. There's usually like a couple of years. I'm hoping there is a couple of years jump, because I would love to see like Mina as a toddler.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just want to see how their relationship has grown. Kit and Ty are the only redemption we need.
This is correct.
I love what Cassie did, like on the last like couple of pages. Well, actually, it wasn't even. It was the last sentence. This evening, the whole sky was bronze, as though to summon the wicked powers.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I think that might be relevant.
I was like, I wonder why that's there. It's like, I wonder. But I love that little nod. But now I'm like, has she done this in the other books? I don't think she has. I don't think she's like mentioned the Dark Artifices must have been mentioned in More Instruments or something. I feel like I'm going to need to read these books.
I know that they were mentioned within the series, because I messaged you again. I love when series do this, when books do this. But I can't remember them being mentioned in previous ones. But
yeah, I feel like she's known about this series for a long time though, because it was announced like before the Dark Artifices had even started coming out. So like maybe she just was like, it's been in my brain for so long. I just need to like really start into it now.
2023 is a sad year, because this was actually the original year the first Wicked Powers book was supposed to come out.
And instead she releases Swordcatcher.
I mean, we also got Chain of Iron.
We did. Even though that was supposed to be a 2022 release.
All the delayed releases. Fuck.
It's fine.
It's totally fine.
It's fine.
I was so okay with it.
I remember just us two like that. It better not get pushed back anymore.
It's like it will have almost been pushed back a whole year. And I was already furious at having to wait a year.
Especially after how. But we're not going to talk about
I'm looking forward to this. No.
I am glad that we're getting a bit of break from the major emotional damage, because the Red Scrolls of Magic especially is quite light-hearted. So, and if it's not, then I've clearly blocked out the trauma. I also It's gonna be interesting for me to read Lost Book of White again, because I've actually only read that one once. I filmed my TBR and I was like, oh, I don't know if I've read this once or twice. Last time I said I've only read it once. I'd already read it twice before. But then I looked it up on Goodreads earlier when I was editing my TBR video, and I was like,
you've already done your TBR video for June?
I'm not at home next week. So I need to get it all done because I've got a very busy few weeks. So yeah, but it's not going up anytime soon. But yeah, so yeah. Oh, Will, my Will, you'd be so proud.
You know what also hurt me? In the Buenos Aires one, where when Alec comes out of the shadow market holding, is it Rafe that he's holding? And then Jem's just like, Will? I'm like, it's not Will. It will never be Will again. And I also looked at Alec reminding Magnus of, no, Alec was trying to learn languages, and then Magnus was talking about Thomas, and I was just like, Thomas.
Can't wait for you to all meet Thomas properly.
I love Thomas. Because in this one, he's still like the weedy, like, oh, I love him.
You don't get to properly meet Thomas.
So the Last Hours trilogy, how far after the Dark Heart of Isis is this set?
It's about 17, 18 years. Oh wait, no. Last Hours is after Infernal Devices.
Oh right. Oh.
So we're going back in time.
Oh.
The Wicked Powers, we have no idea. We're hoping there is a time jump, so we see baby.
Oh yeah. So the Last Hours is after, like, about 17 years after the end of the Infernal Devices.
I'd say about 17, 18, maybe. I'd say maybe more.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
I want there to be a time jump in Wicked Powers, enough so that we can get Max slightly older and in his Shadow Hunter training phases.
Yeah, because he's about 4 at the moment.
So maybe if it was 9 or 10.
Well, I'm thinking a 3-year jump is about right, because we have. So
and also, if it's any more than that, then we will have missed so much of like their lives. And I'm like, that would then be how long are Kit and Ty just not going to speak? Like, I don't want them to jump like 6, 7 years, because that means we won't see them interact before 6 years have passed.
I mean, I'm wondering if the first Wicked Powers will be almost maybe a couple of months after this, and then the second Wicked Powers will have a bit of a time jump, because I feel like they need to resolve their issues pretty soon. It can't be years.
In the Secrets of Blackthorn Manor.
Yeah, I really need to figure out how we can read that.
I'm tonight.
Yeah. And then if I figure it out, I'm gonna let you know, and then I'll also put it in the Discord for anyone else.
Well, and I haven't read that book of characters yet, because it's gonna spoil it. So I'll wait till after the.
I don't think I haven't read that yet. I don't think it has any spoilers. I think it just tells you a little bit about the character. I don't think it gives you like backstory. I actually need to read that. I don't remember too much trauma either. Let's have a light-hearted Red Scrolls of Magic.
Yay!
Have a little bit of fun. Yeah, how old is Charles in the Last Hours? Because that's how long it would have been, because that's who Charlotte's pregnant with at the end of.
He's 17. He's like involved in the meetings.
He must be 18 then.
Well, you have to be 17, don't you, to be involved?
Oh yeah.
So like it's minimum 17 years, but he could be older.
Yeah, so it's at least 17. But yeah.
But I'm pretty sure everyone else is like 16.
Yeah, they're all like 15, 16.
Yeah.
So
no one's as young as like Drew. Like everyone's like.
Yeah. I think Lucy is 15, isn't she?
Yeah, and everyone else is like 16, 17. So I think Charles might be 19.
Yeah. So
Anna's also older, isn't she?
Yeah, I think Anna's a little bit younger than Charles, but not much.
Yeah.
So we've got Red Scrolls of Magic, Lost Book of the White, then the Last Hour trilogy.
Chain of Gold.
Right. Look at my face. It's coming soon then, isn't it?
We are like so close to the end now. Like, I know we've still got 5 books to go, but considering how much we've already read,
I know. It's a madness.
I'm very glad I decided to do this read along. Had so much fun.
I would never have read these books otherwise. I would have just read The Last Hours and called it good.
I'm very glad that I've managed to make people read them.
Yeah.
But I don't have any other notes. That was all of my notes on this book.
But I think we can mark this occasion as like the one time I cried more than Lisa at something. Which
Yay!
Like, who thought that would ever happen?
I feel like this is like a one-time thing, but like,
You know what? I will literally just lie to you, and I apologise because I hate lying. I said I haven't cried that all this month. I cried at this. Literally just been reading this, and I cried yesterday. So
I cried so much this month, like so much. But I also watched A Little Life, so I think it's justified.
that is justified by the way that Chloe was explaining things.
She sent you the voice note she sent Liv, didn't she?
Yeah. I mean,
she missed out a very important detail in that as well. Like, more trauma happened.
I mean, that sounds like enough for me. To never want to go anywhere within like 50 feet of that thing.
Yeah, do not.
We are still live. I'm going to end the live show, and
Yes.
then we'll carry on talking about it. But thank you everyone for joining. I think we're doing the 8th of June. I have the 8th of June down for the Red Scrolls of Magic live show. So I will try and post before the day of the live show this time, to let people know when it is. But thank you everyone for joining, and see you next time.
Adios, amigos.
I will try.